Good day. It is Wednesday. This is our Wednesday opportunity call with Immunotech Research. My name is Keith Hooper. I'm here in Central California. Wish you all a great end of the month of February. Looking forward for a fabulous March, and there's no better way than to feed the mind. And to do that, I'm going to go down to our good friend and business partner, John Solider, down in Dallas. Good day, John.
How you doing, Keith?
Excellent.
Good. Well, listen, folks, this is what this call is about. This call is intended to tell you a little bit about our company, Immunotech Research. You know, somebody that you know, friend, family member, perhaps even a stranger, has decided to tell you about Immunotech. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more right now, and then I'm going to bring a good friend of mine on the line and tell you his personal story and the tremendous success that he's had with Immunotech. So a little bit about Immunotech. First of all, we're a company that has celebrated its 21st year in business. We're domiciled in the province of Quebec, up in Canada, near Montreal. Our company has its origins going back some 40 years to McGill University, which is also located in Montreal, where a product was founded called Immunical. And this product was founded, and as the name suggests, Immunical sounds like it probably has something to do with the immune system, which it does. It basically helps to elevate your immune system to have it work properly. And what does that really mean? Or, you know, what's the byproduct of that? The byproduct of that is three things. Number one, you're going to be healthier. You know, we're in cold and flu season. If you heard our pre-call, you probably heard everybody discussing the weather where they happen to live, be it in Canada or the United States. And we're right smack in the middle of that flu season. We read about and we hear about on the news constantly. So once again, when we talk about good health, one of the things that we want to try to avoid at all costs is the flu, the colds, the pneumonias, all those great things that come about as a result of winter weather. And it seems like as it changes to spring in some places, it even gets worse. So once again, good health is something that's a byproduct of having a healthy immune system. Secondly, of course, strength. You know, we all want to be stronger, whether you're a old athlete like yours personally here is, where, you know, I'm still pushing weights and doing all sorts of things in my 50s that some people gave up a long time ago, or you're just a weekend warrior. Maybe you go out and you take a jog around the block, or maybe you just go out and push the lawnmower occasionally. You know, we're all athletes at different levels, so at the end of the day, to be stronger is something that we all certainly want to be. And finally, one of the other byproducts of this product, Immunical, and a healthy immune system is actually to be smarter. Okay, brain health is something that is very, very important. And, you know, we know a little bit at this point about what our product does with the brain, but most of us were just at a seminar in California where we heard some of the research that's actually taking place with our product in conjunction with some of the leading brain researchers in the world. For example, there's one at McGill who's working on abnormal brain aging. There's another at the University of Denver who's actually working with the mechanisms of brain cell damage in neurodegenerative diseases and traumatic brain injuries, things like concussions and all that sort of thing. And finally, there's a third leading professor that's working at Nova Southeast University down in Florida on the results of our product in terms of autism. So, you know, we have a very serious product that addresses many, many things, but fundamentally, if you just think of it as those three things of good overall health, brain health, and strength gains, you're going to basically get what our product does in a nutshell. Now, we've got other products as well that time doesn't allow us to discuss right now, but the person who invited you to this call, they can either give you a web link or they can give you a beautiful product catalog that'll tell you about all the other products that we market as well that I'm sure you're going to have an interest in. Now, as you can imagine, when you have products that work as well as the Immunotech products work, you're also going to have a business that many people desire. A lot of people get in our business to create what I call a multiple source of income, a secondary income. Perhaps you teach school. Perhaps you're in sales. Perhaps you're in marketing. Perhaps you own your own business. Perhaps you work for somebody else. We're all looking to gain extra income, and we have a business opportunity, once again, that allows people to do that on their own schedule, by the way. Now, we've got people in our business that have created tremendous full-time incomes, that have businesses all around the world, but we also have a lot more people that just do this on a part-time casual basis. They enjoy our products. They found a way to pay for our products each and every month from their business and to make some supplementary income, perhaps to save for retirement, perhaps to fund a child's education, perhaps to just, save for the summer vacation that the family takes each and every summer to find a way to pay for that. Once again, I don't need to tell you why you need more money. I'm sure you all can answer that question for yourself, but we have a way to do that. One such person that took that invitation now almost 20 years ago, when I issued it to him, was a gentleman up in Toronto, Canada, by the name of Foster Owusu. And Foster's got a unique story that he's going to share this afternoon about what's happened with him since he's been at Immunotech. So let me bring him on the line and introduce him formally. Are you there, Mr. Owusu?
Yes, I am, John.
Why don't you share a little bit about where you came from in the world, how you found Immunotech, and kind of what's happened since, and I'll be quiet and give you the floor.
Thank you, John, for the opportunity, and to our listeners, thank you for being on this call on a fateful Wednesday afternoon. In a brief introduction, I think it's fair to say that I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa. I came to Canada in the mid-'80s, and frankly, I was looking for the same thing that most immigrants look for when they come to this part of the world. It was a promising line of opportunity, and did come here. And to my surprise, when you come with a foreign experience, most of the time you have to start all over. And to my benefit, in the late 80s, I stumbled on the concept of free enterprise, where you can simply start a business with very little capital and very little skill and pretty much with no territorial limitation. And I got excited about that. Fast forward, when you heard what John talked about this afternoon, a company that started in 1997. This is a Canadian-based company, and we've been doing business in marketplace around the world. And right now, our international head office is just outside of Montreal. And being in Toronto, it was no-brainer to take advantage of it. When you look at the product that was mentioned by John, Immunotech was originally founded to promote the sale of phenomenal nutritional discovery. And to fully understand the scope of this, it is important to always learn the history about our flagship product, because this particular product, as John alluded to earlier, was discovered by Dr. Gustavo Bunos while working at the medical research at McGill University. I mentioned this in repeat to let you know that when I made that business decision in 1999, when I joined Immunotech, it was based on solid information, because when you think about Immunocows, our product, it's an all-natural product that performs very unique function in the human body. And we don't just talk about it because it has been clinically proven to support the immune system. When I look at that, I have a little bit of business background. I understand economics. I understand demand and supply. So I realized that when you have a product that is as unique as Immunocow, we don't just talk. We have solid scientific evidence to support the research behind Immunocow. Some of the things that really got my attention was the fact that Immunocow was a product that was listed, and it still is listed in what we call the prestigious Physician's Dex reference. We call it PDR in the United States, and it's also listed in what we call the CPS in Canada. Now, if you're listening today, you might be wondering, how did I make that decision? What does this mean exactly? Well, Immunocow is in the book that sits on every desk on qualified physicians in both countries that I mentioned, Canada and U.S. And it's listed alongside all the drugs that doctors prescribe. So it has been proven for the result that really has caused some of us to have the attention. And of course, when I saw all this, I said, okay, so here we are, a product that is in great demand, a product that is only distributed through registered consultants. And when I look at the investment that I mentioned earlier, it was less than $1,000. I was able to quickly got my hands on some money and join the company. And all I can say is it's been a good 19 years for now. I've been a full-time with Immunitech, and all I can say is I am available to my family. I spend both quantity and quality time, and life has been just a blessing. So, John, if there's anything else you want me to add, just ask the question, and I'll just continue talking.
Well, I think you even wrote a book about this subject, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I mean, I love fish. I mean, it took you, John, a while to really start becoming a fish lover. I know you and I have dined over the years. We've had our ribs and all the other stuff, but I love fish. And the reason why I wrote the book, you know, How to Fire Buzz and How You Solve, there are several reasons behind it, but let me even give you the reason why I'm mentioning fish. You know, there's a saying that you teach a man how, you know, you teach a man or you give a man a fish and it will only last a day. But you teach a man how to fish for themselves and it will last them a lifetime. You know, having a job, there's nothing wrong with it. But you know what? I am like those people that, you know, I like to have that sense of security. But those times are over. I mean, anybody who understands that there was a time when, you know, let's say 30, 40, 50 years ago, you had a job and you are good at what you do. Your job is secure. You had a job and you've been there longer than, let's say, 10 people. Your job is secure because if they have to get rid of somebody, those 9 will go before they get to you. Well, those times are over. Today, what you bring to the marketplace is the value that you bring. If you're not able to bring real value, especially if the education that you had 30, 40, 50 years ago is irrelevant in today's marketplace, you are just as vulnerable as somebody who just got hired 2 weeks ago. So you could have been on the job for 30 years. If you don't have today's skills, okay, you are not contributing to what will really, you know, change the bottom line. And so when I look at the Immunitech and the network marketing opportunity, John, I realize truly the only security that I will have will be when I'm the captain of my own ship. And because every business that we bring to Immunitech, we own it. Whatever contribution that you bring to Immunitech, you own that part of the business. And frankly, I was attracted from day one because I realized having a job, which I did, my last job, I was there for 12 years. But the very last check that I received, that was the end of it. The company owed me absolutely nothing. And some people think, you know, their companies owe them stuff or the government owes them something. Nobody owes you anything. I mean, as long as they pay you for the time that you put in, you are done. And I didn't like the feeling of having to depend on, you know, somebody telling me when I can show up and when I can take off, when I can go on vacation. And frankly, I don't like limitations. And the network marketing opportunity gives me the flexibility, both in income and also the potential of not having an income ceiling. So if I want more, I do more. If I want less, I just do less. And to me, that is just freedom.
Well, you know, the other thing is this, Foster. You know, I know your kids, obviously, but most of the people on this call don't. But, you know, do you miss soccer games or things at their school that a lot of other dads miss? Why don't you kind of, you know, chat a little bit about, you know, what that's like being available where, you know, most of the other dads are at work and, you know, you're there. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
I mean, John, you know, sometimes I tell people that there's a system that I work on, and I won't get into all the details, but I'll just touch about 3 of them. And sometimes when you don't have time, and we all have 24 hours in a day, but when I say when you don't have time, in other words, when you have to jump out of bed in the morning by alarm clock and start rushing to go to work and fight traffic, sometimes you even don't have what I call your, you know, spiritual fitness in place because you don't even have time for devotion. You don't even have time for your family. You don't even have time to look after your health. And I can go on and on and on. Because of this business, it has allowed me the opportunity to be there for my children. You know, some of the things that I do that I truly enjoy is the fact that every single morning, you know, I take my kids to school. I drive them to school and they get picked up. And the same way, I spend time with my boys, you know, around soccer. When they are into sports, they don't have any concern about whether that is going to be there or not be there. You know, when it comes to being there at their schools and being there to really see what is going on, whether it's recital, whether it's just school activities. My wife and I, we don't miss our children's school activities. And you can do this if you have a schedule, whether it's 9 to 5 or 3 to 11, whatever schedule that people work these days. If you don't have that freedom, it's very difficult to be there and to be present. Sometimes people do go to events and they're constantly looking at their watch because chances are they only have half an hour or 1 hour, and then they have to rush back to work. Let's look at today. Let's be realistic. It's midday, 2 p.m. here, and almost noon where, some are in California and other parts of the world. And those of us on this call, the majority of us on this call, have the flexibility to be present. If we were working for somebody right now, it wouldn't have happened. I mean, John, you're a classic example. I use your story every time. You finished college in '83, and you haven't really had a lot of, the traditional 9 to 5 job. For me, this is just what I call true freedom. And I don't care where you're from or what you do, as long as you are under somebody's authority, you haven't been able to enjoy your freedom. Slavery continues to exist today, even if you are being paid for the job that you do. Somebody is controlling your life, and it's okay when you do it for a while, but I just could not accept the fact that somebody's going to tell me where to go and how to get there and all that stuff. So I am very, very grateful for this opportunity. As a matter of fact, looking forward to the next few decades ahead of us. The future is so bright, and I'm excited to be part.
Great. Well, thank you, Foster. And just kind of to summarize again, our company, Immunotech Research, we're always looking for talented people that want to learn a new business, want to develop a multiple source of income, and want to take some great products for themselves and their families' overall good health and fitness. And, Foster brought out a lot of good points here, but, the one that I really, really, really want to just illustrate for everyone is freedom. What can you say about freedom? You know what I mean? What can you say about not missing your kids' ball games or recitals or piano rehearsal or whatever it happens to be? That's the type of thing that our business gives people the opportunity to have that no other business model does. A lot of people self-employed out there, but they have businesses that they can't leave at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 7 o'clock at night, because they have to be there for closing the business or opening the business or maintaining the business. Our business gives that flexibility in terms of the hours that we work, so therefore we can be available for the other things in our lives that we value. So with that, I want to thank everybody. This is a call that we do every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're going to have a very special speaker for the first time. Miss Karen Wilson is going to join us from Canada. Karen is somebody who's come into our business and done a terrific job in a very brief period of time. She's going to be sharing her story next Wednesday. Suzette McKay, who was in the military for many years, the Canadian military, she's going to join us the following Wednesday, I believe. And then after that, the next week, we have another very special caller lined up that's going to share their story. We just have to get confirmation that they're going to be able to join us that day. So, this is something we do every Wednesday afternoon, so invite people to it. Use it as a tool to tell people about Immunotech and about the Immunical products and about our opportunity. And with that, from Dallas, Texas, this is John Solider telling you have a great balance of your February, which is about to end here in a few hours, and March is going to be a great month for all of us, as was February. So with that, we'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye for now.